Hi, so let's make empanadas. I'm excited about this one a lot because several years ago we went to Puerto Rico and there was a lady at a music festival that was selling right out of a basket with a bunch of aluminum foil these amazing empanadas. They were light and crispy and flaky. I love them. We had a chicken and a shrimp. So today I'm gonna do the shrimp for you. And it really will take me back, I know, back to that day when we actually had it. For a long time, I've been trying really hard to find the right recipe for the dough. We've tried recipes from different cookbooks. We've tried online recipes. We've also tried the dough that you can get at the grocery store. None of it was as good as this one. This one is really good. So I hope you're able to try it. And I promise you, it's so much better to make it yourself at home versus buying it either frozen or from the grocery store. So let's get started. In our food processor, we are going to put our flour and our salt mixture directly right in. Now, the great thing about the food processor is it's gonna do everything for us a lot easier than when maybe you remember this, when grandma used to use this. Don't have to use that anymore. I'm actually pretty excited about that. So the next thing we're gonna actually put in is our very cold butter. Freeze it, make sure that it's as cold as possible. Even if you can actually make your flour cold, that's okay too. Next thing you're gonna do is you just wanna pulse it until you get small little balls of flour. Once you get to that point, you're gonna put in your liquid. And just pulse it until you get to that point. We're almost there. Perfect. Okay, so as you can see, I'll show you real quick. It's just small little balls. It's just kind of incorporated, okay? So I'm gonna put this back on. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna incorporate, I'm gonna put most of my liquid in. I'm not gonna put all of it in because once it starts to come together, then we're gonna be done. So I'm gonna put this back in. And we're just gonna keep going a little bit. Add a little bit more. And once you get this, see how it's starting to come together already? This is exactly what you want. Once it becomes that ball, you're done. It's that easy. Now I would have still been using the old way. I would have still been using that that metal to try to put everything together. But now it's all. So now what we're gonna do, very simply, we're gonna take this off very carefully. Put that to the side. We're gonna take some flour. I'm just gonna move this over just a little bit. We're gonna take some flour. I'm gonna put that on our board here. And now, we're just gonna take some of this out. And literally all we're gonna do is just bring it together. That's all we really wanna do because now we're gonna actually put this into the refrigerator or the freezer for about an hour. We just wanna make sure that it gets nice and cold. So from here, take a little bit of plastic wrap, put it together. And what you can also do, which is actually kind of a cool trick, is you can use the plastic wrap to actually help make your disc from there. Okay? And when we come back, I will show you the next step. Okay, so now we're starting with the actual filling. And so in our pan right now, I just have about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and we're doing about a medium-sized diced onion. And to that, I'm gonna add some garlic. We're gonna build a lot of great flavor right now. And I'm also gonna add some white wine. I'm gonna add that in as well. Might have some steam going across here. That just means you're cooking really well. That's all that is. Okay, so we're gonna let this go just a little bit. It's already smelling so good. I can't wait until it all gets into that dough that is now in the refrigerator and that we're gonna be taking out very soon to get everything started. So now we're at a really good translucent state. So we're gonna add our shrimp. I'm gonna add all those in. I'm gonna cook this until they become pink. It won't take too long. So now you can see that everything kind of came together and it is nice and pink. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna season it. Now, one trick that you can do with seasoning is make sure that you season from the top. It'll actually get more of the seasoning all the way around and you won't focus it on one specific area. Same thing for your salt. You don't wanna have too much of it, but you wanna have just enough. Okay, so let's move that around a little bit. Now we're gonna actually turn the heat off in just a second. We're gonna add some additional items. So we're gonna add some butter. I'm also gonna add in cilantro and zest. I had the zest of 1 lemon, and that is gonna go in next. So turn this off. I'm just gonna add in the butter, and this is just gonna take that residual heat and it's gonna bring this all back together. Now, what we're actually gonna do is we're gonna let this, once this comes together, we're gonna let it cool before we actually put it into our dough. So the next thing that we're gonna do is okay, so now, next part is our dough. So it's ready, it's nice and chilled. I'm gonna show you how to roll this out. Pretty simple. You're going to be like, oh, I could totally do this. So we're gonna just take this portion off. And we're gonna need some flour on our countertop. So we're gonna put this down just a little bit, don't need too much. Make sure you put some on your hands. And you're also gonna use a rolling pin and put some on the rolling pin as well. That'll make life a lot easier for you. Put some on both sides, so that way it doesn't stick to your counter. Now, even pressure is the best. Now, this little thing is actually kind of cool because I have these measurements on here that will allow me to make sure that everything is at the right measurement that I want, which is 1/4 of an inch thick. Each time you do it, just roll and then turn it to kind of keep it going. If it comes apart a little bit, that's okay. It's really forgiving. So not a problem at all. Just keep it going the same way. And as you do it, just twist. Roll out. And you're just gonna keep going the same way. Actually, not too far. Whoops, if you need a little bit more, just put a little bit more down. And roll it back out. And again, just push it down. A little piece got away from us, but that's all right. Now, I usually use a pastry cutter, actually a pastry maker to be actually able to do this. So I use both sides, which is kind of a cool hack. So if you don't know exactly what size this is 5 inches, but I actually use the bottom of it to cut it, and then I make it with that. So, and I'm gonna show you that in just a moment. It's actually pretty cool. Again, I'm so excited about these just because I really remember the flavor that we actually got from these when we were in Puerto Rico. And so I'm excited about it. It's really kind of the first time that I've been able to make these in a really long time. So I'm excited to actually be able to do this with you all at the same time. And I think we are ready to go with the first batch. So again, we're just gonna use the bottom portion of it. So what you can do is just take a little bit of flour, put it right on the edge so that way it comes off easily. And then all you're gonna do is find a spot, and now you've made a perfect round. And what you can also do is if you think this is a little bit too big, which this one might be, or a little too thick that is, you can actually just roll it out a little bit more. And the cool thing about that is you can just cut it again. That's all you gotta do. So take it from here, cut it one more time. This just cuts a little bit extra off, and now you have the perfect one. So I'm gonna show you the first one, which is gonna be right on here. And what we're gonna do is we're going to take our filling. So our filling cooled. We let that cool for a bit. And we're gonna use about a teaspoon, teaspoon and a half of the filling. We're gonna put that right into the center. Right into the center here. A little bit more. And then you're gonna just take a little bit of water and put it around the edge. It's gonna help you to be able to actually close it very easily. Kind of push everything down a bit, and then you're gonna press this together. And the next thing you know, you have a perfect empanada. Okay, so now we've made all of our empanadas, and I've taken a couple out of them and put them in the freezer just so they're really cold. And so I'm gonna show you how to do a couple of them. First thing you wanna do is always make sure that you go, when you put them into the oil, first of all, it's 350 in the oil, always go away from you in order to make sure that the oil doesn't splatter on you, okay? Always go away. Now we're just gonna make sure that these are golden brown. So we're gonna let them cook for a little bit. And it shouldn't take too long because really the filling is already cooked. We're just reheating it back up again and we're making the dough golden brown. So we're just gonna move these around a little bit. All right, so as these get golden brown, one thing that you can always use, and I always suggest, is having an instant read thermometer. This one's a really good one. I just got it off of Amazon. It was like $13. So great thing is that as soon as you close it, it turns off. As soon as you open it back up, it turns back on again. And you can instantly see if your temperature of your oil is correct. It's the best thing whenever you're either frying something or if you need to make sure that, for example, chicken is 165 degrees when you're cooking it. So it's great for any of those things. As soon as you close it, turns it off again. These are getting so nice and so browned. Okay, so this is perfectly done, absolutely beautiful, and this is the way that it should look. You can even take a little bit more golden if you want, but I think this is. Here's our finished products. Beautiful, right? I'm really excited about it. I hope you are too. I really enjoy being able to make this for you and to just show you a couple of things about how I do it. Now, what I really want to do is try it. And so let's look inside first. Look at that. All the shrimp. I can see the herbs. I can see everything. It's so light. It's so flaky. It cracks when you open it up. It's beautiful. Let's just try it. I probably took too much, but that's okay. It's all part of it, right? So I can absolutely taste all the spices and all the seasoning. The shrimp is perfectly cooked. I cannot wait to hear about what you do with this recipe. Oh, and by the way, rumor has it, next video is gonna be creme brulee French toast. I'm really excited about that one too. Can't wait to share it with you. Thank you so much for watching.